The Sunday afternoon in the serene enclave of Maple Grove Estates was torn apart by chaos. I was nailing planks into a treehouse for my 7-year-old daughter, Lily, when screams sliced through the air. Saw. Fire! Someone help! Saw dropping my hammer, I bolted toward the noise, my instincts as a police commander taking over. 20 years on the force had wired me to run toward danger, not away. We'd only moved here 3 weeks ago, chasing peace after my wife's passing. Lily, born with a condition that weakened her muscles and bound her to a wheelchair, was my rock sharp-witted, fierce, and the light that kept me going. I'd hoped this neighborhood would be a sanctuary for her wounded heart. As I rounded the corner to Elm Street, my blood turned to ice. Black smoke poured from a red sedan in the community center's parking lot. But what stopped my heart was my van parked just yards away, Lily trapped inside. I'd left her with our neighbor, Mrs. Chin, half an hour earlier for a children's storytime event at the center. Now Mrs. Chin was pleading with a woman in a crisp gray blazer who blocked her path. Saw. Move! There's a child in there! Saw Mrs. Chen's voice quaked. The woman, unmoved, snapped, Saw. No one touches this vehicle until security confirms its registration. This is a private event for approved residents only. Saw. I knew her instantly. Margaret Voss, the HOA president, whose welcome packet read like a dictator's manifesto. Neighbors had whispered about her iron grip on the community, but I'd dismissed it as small-town gossip. I was wrong. Saw. That's my daughter! So I roared, chauvining through the stunned crowd. Margaret's cold eyes locked onto mine. Saw. Stop! This vehicle is illegally parked during a restricted event. Saw. The fire in the sedan surged, flames licking higher, heat and smoke rolling toward my van. Through the window, I saw Lily's terrified face pressed against the glass, her frail hands clawing at locks she couldn't reach. Her custom seat and controls, built for her disability, were on the far side. Saw. Get away from my van! Saw. I ordered, my voice like forged steel. Margaret didn't flinch, her chin lifting defiantly. Saw. I've called security and a tow truck. Unregistered vehicles aren't permitted. Saw. Mrs. Chin sobbed. Saw. She has a disability. Saw. Then I saw it. Margaret was holding my keys. Mrs. Chin must have set them down in the panic. Margaret's manicured fingers clutched them like a prize. The burning car's flames roared, the crowd flinching as heat scorched the air. Saw. That car's gonna blow! Saw. Someone yelled. Margaret glanced at the fire, her composure cracking, but unbelievably, she held her ground. Saw. If you'd registered your vehicle and child, we wouldn't be here. Saw. She sneered. My patience shattered. Saw. I'm Commander Nathan Brooks, 5th Precinct. You're obstructing an emergency response in a life-threatening situation. Saw. I flashed my badge, its metal glinting through the smoky haze. Margaret hesitated, her confidence wavering, but then she did the unthinkable. She pressed the lock button on the key fob. The van's lights flashed, locks clicking shut. Lily's eyes widened in panic, her small fists pounding the glass. Saw. I'm securing this vehicle until proper authorities arrive. Saw. Margaret declared, her voice trembling but resolute. Saw. If you're really police, you'll respect rules. Saw. A sharp saw pop saw erupted from the burning car. Maybe 2 minutes until the gas tank blew. Saw. Everyone back! Saw. I bellowed, then turned to Margaret. Saw. Give me those keys. Now. Saw. She stepped back, gripping them tighter. Saw. I know my rights. This is HOA property. You have no authority. Saw. Her words were cut off as 17-year-old Caleb Reed, the local basketball star, tackled her to the ground. Saw. Sorry, lady. Saw. He grunted, prying the keys from her stunned grasp and tossing them to me. Saw. That kid's in trouble. Saw. I caught them, hands trembling, and sprinted to the van. The door handle burned my palm, smoke choking my lungs as I unlocked and yanked it open. Saw. Daddy! Saw. Lily cried, her voice breaking my heart. Saw. I've got you, sweetheart. Close your eyes. Hold your breath. So I unbuckled her harness, lifting her fragile frame as the burning car's window shattered, glass spraying like bullets. Cradling Lily, I ran, passing Margaret, now pinned by Caleb and another neighbor, her blazer smeared with dirt, her face twisted in rage. Saw. You can't touch me! Do you know who I am? Saw, she shrieked. I didn't stop until Lily was safe across the street on a grassy bench, far from the smoke. Her wheelchair was still in the van, but that was the least of my worries. Saw. Are you hurt? Saw, I asked, checking her frantically. She shook her head, her dark ponytail swaying. Saw. Mrs. Chin went to get my book. Then the fire started, and that lady wouldn't let her back. She said people like me don't belong at normal events. Saw, rage surged through me, but a deafening saw boom saw rocked the lot. The burning car's gas tank had exploded. Flames swallowed it, licking the ground and catching my van's tires. Within seconds, my van was ablaze, consuming Lily's Dula 25,000 wheelchair, her speech to VYC, and the controls that gave her freedom. Mrs. Chin reached us, sobbing. Saw. I'm so sorry, Nathan. I left her for a minute, and that woman took the keys from my bag when I showed my ID. Saw. It's not your fault. Saw, I said, though fury churned in my gut. When the first police car screeched up, I recognized Officer Ramirez, an old colleague. Saw. Commander Brooks, what the hell's going on? Saw, she asked, stunned. Saw. I live here now. Saw, I said grimly. Saw. Arrest that woman for child endangerment, theft, and obstructing an emergency response. Saw. Margaret, still arguing with neighbors, went silent as Ramirez approached, cuffs in hand. Saw. This is a misunderstanding. Saw, she stammered, smoothing her disheveled hair. Saw. I was enforcing community rules. Saw. You locked a disabled child in a vehicle near a fire after stealing her caretaker's keys. Saw, Ramirez said flatly, cuffing her. Saw. Save it for your statement. Saw. The days that followed were a blur of loss and unexpected hope. The fire destroyed our van and Lily's irreplaceable equipment. Insurance would cover some costs, but replacements would take months. Yet the neighborhood, once rigid and rule-obsessed, rallied around us. Caleb's family loaned us their ramp-equipped van. A retired engineer built Lily a temporary wheelchair from spare parts. The HOA board, fueled by outrage, voted to expel Margaret. Most shocking was Margaret's husband, Robert, who showed up at our temporary apartment the next day, eyes red, holding a $80,000 check. Saw. This won't fix everything. Saw, he said, voice breaking. Saw. I've excused Margaret's cruelty for 30 years, calling it ambition. Yesterday showed me the monster she's become and what I've enabled. Saw, I tried to refuse, but he insisted. Saw. You're not the first family she's hurt, just the first with the power to stop her. I filed for divorce and I'm liquidating our assets before she hides them. Saw. Margaret's reckoning was just beginning. Security footage from the community center showed her snatching the keys from Mrs. Chen's bag, smirking as Lily struggled. The DA uncovered texts to a friend. Saw. Finally purging our community of undesirables. Fire's efficient. Saw. Charges escalated to attempted voluntary manslaughter. The story exploded on local news, then national outlets. Former neighbors from Margaret's past HOAs shared stories of her targeting vulnerable residents. Her real estate firm fired her, clients fled, and a court-ordered psych evaluation deemed her dangerously unempathetic, remorseful only for being caught. 2 weeks later, at the community center's reopened library, a crowd awaited. Mrs. Chin, teary-eyed, unveiled a new communication to VYC for Lily, funded by neighbors and strangers. Lily, in a borrowed wheelchair, typed her first message. Saw. Thank you for seeing me, not my chair. Saw. The room wept. Margaret's crimes didn't stop with us. Investigations revealed she'd blocked ramps for 3 other families and towed cars of disabled residents with valid permits. At her sentencing, the judge was merciless. Saw. Your discriminatory pattern nearly killed a child. You're sentenced to 15 years, no parole for 10. Saw Margaret collapsed, begging for mercy, but the community she terrorized turned away. Robert donated their mansion, now transformed into Lily's Haven, a recreation center for disabled kids, its plaque recounting how Lily's ordeal exposed Margaret's cruelty. 6 months later, on a crisp spring morning, we stood at Lily's Haven for its opening. The mansion was now a vibrant space where kids of all abilities played together, funded by Margaret's seized assets and community donations. As Lily cut the ribbon from her new wheelchair, surrounded by friends who saw her spirit, I felt our loss lighten. Margaret's cruelty had sparked a community that valued people over rules. That night, as I tucked Lily in, she asked Saw, "Will the mean lady ever get out?" Saw I told her the truth. Saw, "Not for a long time, sweetheart. She did something very wrong." Saw Lily nodded. Saw, "Good. Bad people need a long time out to learn kindness. Her house helps kids like me now." Saw her words, wise beyond her years, sealed the triumph of hope over hate.